So part of what allows Einblick to be such a powerful tool is that it's based on something called a progressive approximation engine. So that sounds pretty fancy, Tim. What does that mean and how does it work?
Yes, actually this came as an afterthought when we started that project. So like normally, so I have a systems background and I mainly work in the intersection of machine learning and systems. And normally what we tend to do is like we develop the system first and then we think later on about a user interface on top of it. In the research project North Star, which is now the company Einblick, we actually did it exactly the other way around. We
Mhm.
started with what we considered to be a good user experience, and then thought like based on what we want, we developed the coding system for it to support that interface. And one key thing we discovered, particularly in this context of collaboration, is that you cannot have people wait for results. So let's assume like you work alone on a Python notebook. You like start your AutoML tool and it tells you it runs for half an hour or an hour. It's normally not a big problem because you just say like, okay, I get a coffee, I walk away in half an hour, I check back in again, and I have my models built and then I continue from there. But if you're on a meeting and an operation takes like a minute or 5 minutes, and now you have your manager next to you staring with you on a screen with a wait icon, um, that's pretty awkward, right? And if this happens once, maybe, but if it happens the second time, everybody will immediately say, okay, let's take that offline, right? And
Right,
the
right,
collaboration is over. So
right.
nobody wants to wait in a team. It's just an awkward experience. And
Mhm,
so
mhm.
we needed to figure out a way to overcome that. And the answer, or our answer to the solution to the problem, was like this progressive approximation engine. So how that actually works is it for any operation you do in our interface, it first takes a sample of the data, runs the computation over the sample so that you get a very quick result, normally in sub-seconds. And then
Oh,
in the background, it makes the sample larger and larger until it eventually converges to the final answer. So everything like in Einblick stays interactive regardless of the data size, regardless of the complexity of the operation, so that you can have several people to work on together and make discoveries on the fly. But at the same time, if you wait long enough, everything will converge to the final answer and you don't have this like uncertainties of like approximate query processing. And like otherwise, if everything is approximate and stays approximate, you're wondering, can I trust the result? And using our technique, we actually bridge the gap. You get fast response time, approximate ones in the beginning, but in the end, you will have the final answer if you would have walked away for half an hour and waited for it.